Hi there, WordPress friends. My name is Remkes, and this is Inside WordPress. As some of you may know, I run a weekly WordPress-related newsletter. And at the time that this video will air, I will have written 70, maybe 71 newsletters. But this is the first version in video. So for those of you who don't know what my newsletter features, there's a couple of sections. So first off, I have Inside WordPress News. It's essentially news about WordPress. Try to stay away from the generic stuff, but fun little things I discover and see in the week past. There will always be some version of performance tips. There will also be a section where I will highlight a WordPress service, plugin, a theme, really anything. There's also the section that I call what I'm reading. Besides work, sometimes it's work related, of course, but what have I been reading in the last week? Interesting Finds is the section of interesting finds that I found on the internet. Very often it's a tool I discovered, an app, or something like that. Lastly, there's a bonus section. Any and all links will be shared in the newsletter, shared in the description, and I will be sharing screenshots when and where relevant. Ready? Let's go. For this first edition, we're talking about WordPress Playground, performance tips, and an awesome replacement for reCAPTCHA, and more. So let's dive right in. You've heard of WordPress, but have you heard of WordPress Playground? So the first time I learned about WordPress Playground was at Cloudflare 2023, and it blew me away, because trust me, this is something you want to know about. WordPress Playground is essentially a full WordPress site that lives solely in your browser, thanks to WebAssembly. But it's a technology that allows you to have a standalone version just in your browser, like literally. It does not connect to a server. No server needed at all. And it's such an innovative tool that Google even featured it on their developer blog. Now, two of the main developers behind this awesome application, Daniel Bachhuber and Adam Zielinski, both share their insights on their blogs, and I highly recommend you check out all these 3 articles, and you'll quickly see why, not just I, but why a lot of people think this is a game-changing tool. Next up, let's talk performance. So Chrome version 112 is making some changing by ignoring low entropy images in the LCP, the largest contentful paint score. Low entropy images typically contain large areas of solid colors, repetitive patterns, resulting in less visual interest of information for the viewer. So it makes sense that Chrome is going to start ignoring them. All in all, this will help everyone get better Lighthouse scores without having to put too much effort into it. It makes a lot of sense for Chrome to start ignoring this. Also, as a small side note, can you believe we're already at version 112 for Chrome? My, where has the time gone? Performance. Let's look at performance for JavaScript. While researching performance issues, I was working on a client site that had JavaScript that was cached, so you would figure there would be some performance gain, but it was still slow. So it's essential to remember that caching doesn't automatically make your site fast. We'll talk more about this in future episodes, but the link shared is an interesting article that explains why this is. Like, why is cached JavaScript not necessarily faster JavaScript? For this week's Inside WordPress highlight, I'm plugging a very small but very sweet plugin. I'm not a big fan of reCAPTCHA. I think it's an intrusive way. I think it's not always easy to do. I'm sure that we've all seen these images where you have to click on where's a bus or where's any other repetitive thing that is sometimes just a little too hard. And especially if there's easier ways, let's please start looking at those. So the plugin I'd like to plug here is simple Cloudflare Turnstile. It's a privacy-friendly, non-intrusive alternative to reCAPTCHA. It doesn't get in the way, and I highly recommend it. And as said in the beginning, the link is in the description. Interesting finds. That's the next section. So here's an interesting question. Have you ever wished you had God mode? Well, God mode with AI, that is. So if you don't know, AutoGPT is like an AI agent that saves you from having to craft really long and verbose prompts just so you actually get what you're looking for. And that's essentially what God mode does. It's a tool. It's one of the coolest tools I've come across lately, and I'm sure you'll love it too. You can find it over at godmode.space. And it's an AI tool, again, that essentially helps you get quicker results in AI requests. What I am reading. I recently started reading the book Do Hard Things, and it's a very interesting book. It's a book on why we get resilience wrong and the surprising science of real toughness. That's also the subtitle. It's an eye-opening book with a lot to learn from. The link is in the description below. Do check it out. I'm positive you'll learn a lot. And for this week's edition bonus, I have just a small one, but it's a nice one. One of my biggest gripes with browsers and the internet is all the cookie consent pop-ups while browsing the internet. We have to check them all. It's annoying, and personally, I think they should be solved inside the browser. So check out the link under the bonus section in my linked newsletter in the description, and you'll find a link that explains how to do that with a specific browser. And I'll give you a hint. It's Brave, and it's a setting, and it fixes a lot of your privacy concerns. The Brave browser works like Chrome, but has a lot of extra nice things. This is one of them. So that's it for this first episode of the video version of Inside WordPress. Let me know if you have any questions below in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, you know the drill, and remember to hit that notification bell so you'll never miss an update. I'm Remkes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.